First witness is Detective Nita.
Okay.
He should be on Zoom.
All right, let me look.
And Judge, just to go back, and I'm sorry to belabor the point, but the reason I brought the statute book is it specifically states when that new pretrial detention and release statute goes into effect. Each subsection tells when that statute is effective and what the dates are that are encompassed. And the one that I cited to is the one that is in effect. And so the ones that are subsequent to that also say when they go into effect, and that is after the date and time frame.
Of when the original pretrial detention hearing was, or today?
When the original.
I understand,
Okay.
but assuming the language has changed, I'm assuming Mr. McLymont is going to say it's retroactive application. I'm assuming that's what you're going to tell me, right? That I can consider, and it's got to be done now pursuant to the current statute, correct?
Yes, that would be my argument.
Okay, so I'll take a look at it and we'll go from there. Okay, yes, Detective, is it Nader is present?
Neither, yes, neither. N-E-A-D-E-R.
All right, Detective, good afternoon. Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am, I can.
Okay, very good. Please raise your right hand. You swear, clerk's going to swear you in.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
I'm going to go to the podium. Judge.
Yes, you will need to.
All right, good afternoon, Detective. Could you please state your name for the record?
Jacksonville Sheriff's Office.
How long have you worked at the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office?
Coming up on 9 years.
You're a detective now, but how long have you been a detective for?
About 5 years.
All right, and what type of detective are you currently?
I'm a detective in the gang unit.
How long have you been in the gang unit as a detective?
3 years.
So from today, you're going back 3 years.
It'd be 3 years in September, so a couple weeks.
All right. So at the time of the incident, in this case, you had been a detective in the gang unit for how long? Back in June of 2024.
As of when, I'm sorry?
As of June 2024.
2 years? Almost 2 years?
Okay. About a year and a half, or maybe a little bit over a year and a half?
Roughly.
All right. You in the gang unit, the detectives there, they're assigned to particular gangs in Jacksonville. Is that correct?
Yep.
All right. How many gangs are you assigned to in Jacksonville?
1.
What's the one gang you're assigned to in Jacksonville?
ATK.
All right. And are there any other detectives assigned to ATK in Jacksonville?
No.
All right. So when you're assigned to ATK, but what does that mean? What do you do in relation to ATK and in your investigative capacity?
I investigate the criminal gangs and their members, and I also purge members if they no longer meet Florida state statutes.
All right. And you say you purge members. That means you take members off of a gang list?
Yes, if they no longer meet state statutes, they no longer meet the criteria to become a gang member, they're removed from the system as an ATK gang member.
All right. Is there anybody in JSO that would know more about ATK than you would?
I'm not sure what other people's knowledge is.
Well, is there any detective in your unit that knows more?
I'm going to sustain the objection.
Is there anyone in your unit that spends more time investigating ATK?
Not that I'm aware of.
Do you have daily interactions with ATK in some way, shape, or form?
Say that again?
Do you have daily?
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you.
Do you have daily interactions with ATK in some way, shape, or form? Yeah, is that?
I'm sorry, did you say daily interactions?
Daily, yes.
I mean, it would depend on what you would classify as an interaction.
So either physical interaction, looking at evidence that has something to do with ATK. Is that what you're doing day in and day out, dealing with ATK?
I wouldn't say we have interactions like a face-to-face interaction, but I investigate them day in and day out. Yes.
All right. Do you currently have any confidential informants that are in ATK that you have conversations with?
No.
Have you in the past?
Not for ATK. No.
All right. So how is it that you're able to determine that ATK is a gang?
By Florida State statute.
All right. So when you say by Florida State statute, you're referring to statute 874?
Yes, sir.
And there's some criteria listed in that statute for classifying what a gang is?
That is correct.
All right. So how, in applying that statute to ATK, this group, how have you determined that ATK is a gang?
I mean, I would have to, I'm gonna need to pull up the statutes here. You're gonna have to give me a second. So Florida State statute states that a criminal gang is a formal, informal, ongoing organization, association, or group that has one of its primary activities is the commission of criminal or delinquent acts, and it consists of 3 or more people that have a common name, sign, color, or symbol, including but not limited to terrorist groups, crime organizations, and hate groups.
All right. So that's the definition in the statute of, I guess, what the legislature defines as a gang, right?
Correct.
And now, how is ATK a gang when you look at that statute and you look at their activities? What do they do that makes them a gang?
Well, they commit criminal acts and they have 3 or more people.
So when you say they commit criminal acts, every person that you know of that's associated or a member of ATK commits criminal acts?
That wasn't, no, that's not what I said.
You said that they
You
create.
asked what is a gang, and that's what a gang is.
You're
So
testing.
the group,
Go ahead.
the group of ATK commits criminal acts. Yes.
Okay. So the group as a whole is what you're saying.
I mean, I would be the group ATK.
What I'm just trying to understand is, are you saying that the group ATK commits criminal acts as a whole, or are you talking about specific members?
I'm not, you'd have to rephrase the question. I'm not sure I completely understand what you're asking.
I'm really just asking you to clarify what you're saying when you say that ATK commits criminal acts.
Yeah, I don't know how else to clarify it.
Are you saying that all the members in ATK commit criminal acts?
I'm saying that the group, you asked how the group was documented as a criminal gang.
I know that was the first question. Now the second one is whether the entire group, whether it's your knowledge from your experience, from your investigations, does every member in ATK commit criminal acts? Yes or no? Do you know?
I don't know what the people have done. The members that I have come across, they have committed criminal acts.
Okay. And in your, I guess, in your field, so long as there are some people in ATK who have committed criminal acts that makes them a gang, since since there's at least 3 of them?
Well, they have a common name. They have identifying signs and symbols, and they meet the criteria laid out in the members.
Right, but I mean, basketball teams have the same things, right? Sports teams. Music groups.
Sustain the objection. Listen, if you're trying to establish that this is where we're going, that even though this there's been testimony previously that the ATK gang is a gang, if you're going to try and cross-examine or elicit from this witness that it is not in fact a gang, we just need to ask pertinent questions to that. Okay.
So, okay. You said that you read the statute. The statute says that in order for it to be classified as a gang, the primary activity has to be criminal acts, right?
Commission of criminal or delinquent acts, yes.
And are you saying that ATK's primary activity is to commit criminal acts?
That's what would make them a gang.
But I understand that. But are you saying that their primary activity is to commit criminal acts?
I'm not real sure how what you're asking. I explained that they committed criminal acts, which would make them a gang. I don't know what other activities other than criminal, because I'm law enforcement, so I investigate criminal activities.
All right. So
I don't know the other activities that they do.
You know that they make music, right?
I mean, yeah, I guess you could call it music.
When you say you guess you could call it music, what do you mean by that?
I mean, I guess it's a form of music.
All right. So you just don't like the music, but they create music, right?
Okay, listen, Mr.
Right.
McClyment, listen. And I'm looking at the statute here, and I'm looking at the most recent version. And this is the one that was effective February 13th, 2025, correct? That's the most recent version you guys are aware of?
I'm trying to pull it up on Westlaw right now.
I'm looking at it right now. This is what Westlaw shows to me. This is the most recent version. And it states at 907-041-5K.
That's the pretrial detention. Are you talking about the gang statute or the pretrial?
No, I just want to get us focused on what I'm going to be considering. That's why I'm backtracking on this. Okay. So I'm looking at 907-041, the version of the statute that was effective February 13th of 2025, subsection 5K. Quote, a party may motion for a pretrial detention order to be reconsidered at any time before a defendant's trial if the judge finds that information exists that was not known to the party moving for reconsideration at the time of the pretrial detention hearing, and that such information has a material bearing on determining whether there are conditions of release or bail that will reasonably assure the appearance of the defendant as required and the safety of any other person and the community from harm. So that is the standard I will be applying. So all of this stuff, all of this historical stuff about ATK and all candor is not going to move the ball. You need to ask this witness about anything that has occurred since that either wasn't known at the time of that hearing by counsel representing your client, or something that has changed subsequent to. Okay.
So I guess 2 issues. I think you mentioned that was from February of this year.
Yes.
They make laws after that, the legislature. And
I know, but do you have the more recent version? I'm just
It's
looking at
on Lexis.
Westlaw, and I'm just telling you what Westlaw is showing me, that the most recent version is February 13th of 2025.
I mean, I can show you what I have. I'm not sure what you're looking at, but I can show you what I
I'm
have.
looking at Westlaw. That's what I'm looking at. 907.041. They have this as the most recent version. If I'm wrong,
And Judge, that's what I had made representations to the court as well. Like, I had looked at all versions, and the latest one had just moved it to a different letter.
okay.
But the state cited a whole different subsection, so that wasn't the latest.
I know,
version.
but are you, as an officer of the court, are you telling me that whatever it is you're relying upon as far as it being the most recent version of the pretrial detention order, are you telling me that this language no longer exists? Is that what you're telling me? The
Yeah,
fact, that's what you're
Judge.
telling me.
Yes, so I can show you my computer right now, the LexisNexis.
Well, do you have
You
a
type-
hard, can you print it up?
I didn't print it.
Okay. So at this point, Mr. McLyman, we're not just going to go back and completely reopen all of the testimony from the first hearing. That we're not going to do that. So I need to hear about anything that wasn't known previously, or something has changed as far as a situation that has changed since the hearing that would require me to reconsider Judge Sabella's ruling.
So
Because that's what you're asking me to do, is
Well-
undo something from a previous judge.
no, well, I filed a motion that has two components to it: an Arthur hearing request and a request to reconsider the pretrial detention order. If I'm asking you to reconsider the pretrial detention order, and if the statute that the state is relying on says what the court is saying, then I would have to go into that framework. For my
Okay.
Arthur hearing, I don't have to show any change in circumstance. I'm traveling under a completely different procedural rule, 3.131, and the first sentence in Article 1, Section 14. So I don't have to show this change in circumstance or anything like that for the Arthur hearing. That's what I asked for.
I know, but
in my motion.
Judge Sabella entered his order. He didn't even address Arthur.
But that's the point. That's why I'm having the Arthur. That's why we're having the Arthur hearing now. She's still entitled to an Arthur hearing.
But I tell you what, let's deal with 907.041 first, and then if need be, we'll get into the Arthur factors. But I'm not going to relitigate all of the facts that were elicited at the pretrial detention hearing. We're not relitigating that. I'm just telling you right now, we're not doing it.
All right. So I guess I can ask my questions. My questions are geared towards both issues, the Arthur hearing and pretrial detention. But if I'm only allowed to ask questions as to the pretrial detention, then
Of this witness, let's stick with this witness, okay? And so far, what you've asked him about is his knowledge of the ATK gang. All I really want to hear about from this witness is if something has changed, if there's something about the ATK gang that was not known at the time of the original pretrial detention hearing. I'd like to know about that. If there's anything that's changed since this hearing about the ATK gang, whether in fact it's a gang or not, I would like to hear about that. Other than that, it's irrelevant.
you testified at the pretrial detention hearing for Alicia Andrews last year. Is that correct?
Yes, I believe it was last year.
And during that hearing, did you testify about Isaiah Chance's relationship with youngin' ace Kenyatta Bullard?
I don't recall.
All right. Did you testify about whether youngin' ace paid or has paid for any legal fees for any of ATK's gang members?
Have I testified to that? I don't recall.
At the pretrial detention hearing.
I don't recall. I asked for my transcripts from the pretrial detention, and I didn't receive them, so I don't exactly recall what was said over a year ago.
All right. So are you aware that Isaiah Chance and youngin' ace had a relationship at some point in time? Is that your understanding?
I don't know what you would say by relationship.
I mean,
I would say maybe acquaintances or something like that.
all right. So they knew each other and they communicated with each other?
I'm not sure if they communicated with each other.
So how were they acquaintances in your view?
They would be associates and friends of the same people.
So you're not aware of Isaiah Chance and youngin' ace having any sort of fallout before the incident in this case, before the shooting?
Fallout.
Fallout, like not getting
I'm not
along?
aware. I'm not aware of them two directly. I'm aware of Isaiah Chance and ATK having a fallout. Yes.
Before the shooting in this case?
Before the murder of Charles Jones. Yes.
And what do you know about Isaiah Chance having a fallout with ATK before the shooting in this case?
I'm going to object again.
Isaiah.
Wait, hold on.
Judge, I'm going to object again as to relevancy. Like, we're just going on questions that have nothing to do that weren't known at the time when this original pretrial detention work was heard.
So the theory of prosecution.
I understand that that Alicia Andrews is the girlfriend of Isaiah Chance, who was either a member of or affiliated with ATK, right?
Yes, Judge.
Okay. And so the fact that there had been a fallout between Isaiah Chance and ATK before the shooting, is that new information or is that old information?
Judge, I believe that's old information.
Okay, so it was known at the time of the original pretrial detention hearing.
Yes, Judge, I think that we are still covering similar ground to what he's testified to previously.
You mean the detective who hasn't yet seen the transcript of what he testified to?
Yes, Judge.
So he's guessing.
Yes, Judge.
Okay, so detective, do you recall, I don't know if you recall or not, when you testified at the pretrial detention hearing of Alicia Andrews, do you remember being questioned about the fact that there had been a fallout between Isaiah Chance and the ATK gang before the murder of Charles Jones?
I don't recall the fallout, but I do know when the fallout was. And that I don't know if I was questioned about it prior to this or not.
Okay, so when was it?
November 23.
Okay. Okay, Mr. McLymick, go ahead.
Okay. Do you know what the fallout was for?
I don't know direct facts of what it was because I haven't been told. I have my own personal opinions as what the fallout was for.
Okay. I mean, you're the expert for ATK that the state's listed. Could you give us your opinion, whether it be expert or, I guess, your personal opinion?
Yep. It would be after the death of Antonio Tilly, who was close with Isaiah Chance. ATK did not pay their homage and respects of what I would assume Isaiah Chance thought they should have.
Okay. All right. Under the pretrial detention standard, I have no further questions.
Okay, Cross.
No, Your Honor.
Okay, may this witness be excused?
Yes.